So this one is about how different teams can work on the same product backlog. Often we have several teams if the product is really big, and according to Scrum rules, your team should be either five people or less. Of course, there are sources which say that there should be 9 people, but personally, I follow the rule that the team should not be more than 5 people, and it needs to be feature teams. But all those teams, they will be working on the same product. They have to be synchronized, they have to stay intact, and work on the same backlog. So sometimes we have issues between how to split this work, how to make sure everything remains structured and simple, and for that purpose we want the rituals like daily stand-ups, plannings, and everything else to also be separate so that each team can focus on their specific piece of work, delivering value to the user. So now you can do that with Jira. It's been there for a while actually. Jira lets you run parallel sprints from the same product backlog. In order to use this feature, you have to make sure that you have that option activated for your Jira. For that, go to Jira settings, open Jira settings, products, Jira software configuration, and there's pretty much only one checkbox or tick box, so I will activate it. I have my parallel sprints activated now, and I will come back to my product to create parallel sprints. As you can see, I already have this parallel sprints created here. I recommend that you change names of your sprints to better distinguish them between teams. For example, this one for me is called Team 2 Sprint 2. This one, let's say I will call Team 1 Sprint 2. For, let's say, they will be delivering same value or iteration or whatever. So right now I have 2 sprints in the backlog and 1 already in progress, as you can see, and I will now start another one. What's also great about having separate sprints for separate teams is that you can set a separate goal for each team. And again, this is very important for giving your team ability to focus on what they have to deliver. So one of my sprints is already in progress. I click Start Sprint, and I will now activate another sprint. On my board, I now have here this drop down which says All Sprints. If I need to see a sprint of just one team, I will just switch between filters, and that's my vision for just one team. I don't have to view all the issues, all the sprints that are in progress at the moment. I can just review a specific sprint backlog for a specific team. As for the Burndown Charts, pretty much go same way. You go to Reports, you find your Burndown Charts, and you just switch between teams to view a separate burn chart for a separate team. I will remain at story points, and here's a drop down, team 2, team 1. I can just switch between them and view Burndown Charts. This is a test project which I'm using for videos specifically, so of course there is no progress. You cannot see it. As for the velocity, this is where you will need to be a little bit more extra careful because there's no separate velocity chart for different sprints, but here you will see the name of each sprint, and you will be able to track velocity velocity specifically for each team that you have. So this solution helps us very much when we need to coordinate work of multiple teams on the same product. Hope it helps you as well.